The mechanics of stabbing into something, particularly a moving target, and especially a moving target that's trying to keep you from stabbing it, are way more complicated than you would think. A lot of people kind of shit on the reverse grip, right? But if you're trying to stab into something that's moving around and maybe doesn't want to be stabbed, it's a lot easier to do some real damage with this grip than with that grip. In the movies, they make it seem like you're going to be able to just do that, but that doesn't really get it in there the same way a good stab like that does. If you spend a significant amount of time hitting stuff with a knife, you're going to realize that it doesn't work out in your hand the way you think it's going to. And I think that's something that's missing from a lot of people that equip themselves with one of these and think it's going to be for self-defense. Have you ever actually hit anything with it? Have you ever hit anything hard enough that you would, you know, with the same force that you would be using in self-defense? It's harder than you think. And you could get a big old fat grip that might make this a little more pleasant, but then I wouldn't be able to conceal that thing flat against my body under a hoodie or even under a t-shirt. So that's the trade-off. And I think a knife that I can more easily conceal and is more pleasant to carry is better than a knife that is more pleasant to use for extended periods of time. Because I'm not going to be using this for an extended period of time. I'm going to be using it, hopefully, never. Second most hopefully, for just a second or two. To make a guy rethink what he's doing. And nothing makes a guy rethink what he's doing like getting stabbed in the face. Knife guys are super weird. They always want stuff super sharp. I think super sharp blades are overrated. They'll tell you that you're more likely to hurt yourself with a dull blade than a sharp blade. No, I'm more likely to hurt myself with a little bit with a dull blade, but I'm likely to hurt myself a lot of bit with a sharp blade. I'm going to be reviewing this dagger from Skallywag and talking about its features because it might be a little different than what you're used to. And no, spoiler alert, it's not good for cutting vegetables and is not good for chopping firewood. It has one very specific purpose. I might kind of like that one. They come in a variety of styles and colors. I'll put a link down in the description below. You can go check out all the options, but there was one in particular that they wanted to show off. Let me see. Yeah. Trainers, that's important. That one, I don't feel great. But they wanted to show off the Damascus dagger. This sounds like something I found on a quest. Oh! It also looks like a thing that you would get after a quest. Look at that bad boy right there. You might remember I got one of these a year ago. I gave it to my wife. She really loved it. That's her favorite color. And it's super lightweight, even with the sheath, which is one of the selling points of an aluminum dagger. But what is even the purpose of this? Why is it shaped like this? Why is this, by the way, this, hey, it's not sharp. This part is not. Because it's not supposed to be. Sometimes when people get knives that they're not familiar with, they have weird features like, oh, I want a big fat grip and I want it to be razor sharp. Okay, well, that might not be the best choice for self-defense. But let me tell you a secret about getting free stuff from companies. Anytime a company wants to send you some stuff, go on their website and find something totally unrelated and tell them you need one. I did it last time to Skallywag with the bounty. So I said, yeah, if I'm gonna do the dagger video, I also need one of these. I've not seen this in person yet. It has nothing to do with the video. I don't actually need it. Did it to you again, Skallywag. I just wanted one. The purpose of a dagger is to make some space between you and a person that's trying to hurt you. And that's it. That's all it does. I mean, other stuff is gonna happen, but that's its purpose. So it makes an excellent backup weapon if you carry a firearm in some capacity. The D2 version has been on my vest for over a year now. And if we talk about a retention fight, so let's say I messed up, you know what I mean? I messed this up. This one here, damn. This one's tough. Because this doesn't occur in wall wrestling. Because the answer would be, I should turn to you and start working an underhook back in, right? And then fight you this. Which I guess, I mean, with the sling, boom again, boom.
Left heel, up in the groin area.
I mean, yeah, like we could Krav Maga shit. Pummel in here. Secure this position. Boom. Oh shit. Oh. Having this as a way to get him to stop trying to do that is a valuable tool, especially if you're dealing with someone who's maybe can physically overpower you. I went with the gray instead of the black on my vest. The vest was already black, and you know, having all your gear be black is kind of nerdy. But the red, the red is kind of sexy. But the red is in aluminum. Let me explain why the aluminum one is cool. I live in the American South, which means athletic shorts and a t-shirt year round. This thing weighs almost nothing. I'm sure it weighs some amount of ounces. You can go check their website, but I'm telling you experientially, it weighs less than my keys. And when I put those in my pocket and they jingle jangle around, it's super annoying in gym shorts. This is so light that when I clip it, even just with just the drawstring, that's all I've got. I know I should probably always wear my 511s and my battle belt, but in real life, this is how I dress, and being able to carry a pretty serious weapon and it doesn't weigh anything down, and that clip has that little extra little piece that grabs the fabric. So even those shorts kind of move around, when you go to make this draw, even though the sheath might move or might shift a little bit, it doesn't come off of your pants and the dagger comes out in your hand. That right there disappears and it sits flush with you. Even if it were to print, it doesn't necessarily look like a weapon. This thing, summertime, if you're not going to be able to carry a full rig or what you would normally like to carry if you're in a bathing suit or whatever, that right there, that's awesome. Now the dimensions and everything of these are identical, the steel one versus the aluminum one. So if the dimensions are identical, isn't the lighter weight one always more favorable? Maybe. It depends. I like the steel one because the aluminum is definitely going to be less durable. And if you're the type of guy that buys an aluminum dagger and then gets mad when it bends and warps, you don't really understand its purpose. And while we're talking about its purpose, let's talk about this grip or lack thereof. With this grip, which might be a little confusing because there's not much to it and it's got this big ring. What is all this for? If you don't know, you might be wondering, do I hold it like this? Do I hold it like this? Do I hold it like this? Do I hold it like this, or like this, or this, or this, or this? Yes. If we look at this through the lens of a self-defense weapon, that means we'll likely be deploying it under stress, which means that it shouldn't much matter how you grab it. So if I'm going to be going to this weapon and I move a cover garment and grab it, I just want to get my hands on it some kind of way and pull it out. Even if that means I have a less than stellar grip. Then that big ring means if I miss it by a lot, right? If this is all I can get, or this is all I can get, or this is all I can get, and I pull it out, at least it's in my hand. And then I can work it into a fighting grip if need be. The different little purchase points on here, you could take this a variety of ways. Now what you might be wondering is if I grip it here and I hit something pretty hard or push something pretty hard, might my hand slip down over that blade? Blade, I use the term loosely. It's not that sharp, but I think it might be sharp enough that if I drew my hand across it violently, it could cut. Well, we're gonna find out here in a second what actually happens when you use this for its intended purpose. Gripped like all the way down here, which that is like right by the blade. If I push this thing hard, like I'm really trying to push it into this guy, my hand doesn't slide. And even if I hit pretty hard on a relatively soft target, this is an archery target, that's what I use usually for like edged weapons and stabbing practice. If you're wondering what it feels like with a finger in the ring, if you're gripping it tight, it's not too bad. If you're at all loose, that could be unpleasant in there. Having things between your fingers when you hit something is not great. And you could even end up with your thumb in there, gripping it some kind of way, and you still got a decent fighting grip with this thing. The other benefit of the ring, on top of being able to get to it under pressure, is if I'm using it as a backup to another weapon. If I'm in some sort of retention battle over this, I'm fighting over it, whether it's in my hand or not, and I need to use this to create that space so that I can introduce this into the fight. Once I do, I'm not one-handed anymore. I can still use this hand. I can still get basically my normal firing grip, but not have to drop this or finagle it back into the sheath one-handed while I'm getting my ass kicked. And the ring is pretty big in case you are out there operating and you're in shooting gloves or even in winter gloves. I can get even that in there. I can find it because it can be difficult to find things when you're wearing gloves and when you're under stress. And when you're under stress wearing gloves, your fingers become nearly useless. Another benefit of the aluminum ones being lightweight enough that you could clip them to athletic shorts is not just, you know, the convenience if you're wearing athletic shorts, but if you were actually doing athletics. Runners, when people go for a jog, they hate to have stuff clipped to their waistline, and I often recommend that they carry something in their hand instead. This is light enough that you probably wouldn't notice it on the waistband of shorts during moderate exercise, but in-hand carry and an in-hand draw, that's usually what I recommend to runners. Because this doesn't look overtly like a weapon unless someone gets right up on you and is looking closely. And if they're getting right up on you and looking closely while you're out jogging or walking your dog, hey, you already have a problem. It's a good thing it's in your hand. But I have taken live blades and stuck them in archery targets. I've taken training blades and hit focus mitts and partners with them. But I wonder, a live blade into the face skull area of a person, I wonder how much it swirls around in my hand. Like, everyone thinks that they're gonna be a bad dude and just whoosh. Like, this guy has lots of features, this nose thing and teeth and stuff like that, and I want to know how much, when I swing this thing for real, how much all that, like how much poof am I gonna get out of this guy, like for real. I don't think I'm gonna be able to bite. I don't think I'm gonna be able to like bury this thing into his skull. I don't think that I'm gonna be willing or able to actually bury a dagger in his skull. So I don't know if we'll get a big satisfying burst like we do in some of the other videos. Ooh, that looks unpleasant. I don't know, man. Oh! So that's not a burst of anything. Let me try my right hand. Right hand. And this is just, you gotta find this stuff out, you know, now, rather than in the moment. Like, what if hitting someone in the face and it glanced off, or it jammed my hand, or like it was harder to hold on to than I thought? This is important practice. Ooh. Uh-oh. Oh no. I was wrong. Maybe you can stick this through there. Oh, wow. But now I want to know, can I do that with my left hand? Was it just me kind of like being a sissy with it? Real life. No fixing the grip up. Just hit it. Just hit it hard, Mike. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, yikes. Came out over here. This thing might be slick. That's a problem. Can I go in through here? That's what I want to know. With a one good whack. You know, one good. Alright, boom, boom. Oh no. Draw my knife. Fuck. Oh my goodness. I don't think that's realistic. I think it might be easier to do this now, because once there's one breach of it, all the subsequent breaches are easier. It might, I think that's how it works. Comment below if you know if that's correct or not. I think that that's correct. Oh no. How do I get? Oh no. Fucking. I was wrong. I do have a use for this. I gotta get my knife back. Get that thing back in order. This is the boarding axe from Skallywag, also makers of this dagger. And I'm sorry, dude. Oh, looks like we are gonna get a big satisfying whack. I need my knife back. Jeez, I got my knife back. No damage to that. No damage to that one.